Hey guys, today I'll share with you 3 methods that will help you quickly get your handstand. Before I start, let me walk you through my handstand journey. I started training handstand about a year ago, and after 6 months I was able to hold a handstand for 10 seconds, and after 12 months I could hold it for 40 seconds. In case you haven't noticed, I made a video showing my handstand journey. I've put a link down below in the description, so go check it out. My progress might be slow compared to others, and that is because I've made a lot of stupid mistakes. But at some point in my journey, I was lucky enough to come across Gab's handstand tutorials. Gab has the most comprehensive handstand tutorials you'll ever see. In this tutorial, I'll summarize the 3 things I learned from his tutorials, and I can tell you, as a person who has adopted his advice and gone through the whole process, that these 3 things are the ones that work best for beginners. So first thing first, never try your luck. Handstand is not a water bottle flip challenge. It's simply not realistic to expect yourself to miraculously hold a handstand after a few kick-ups. That's how I wasted the first 3 months of training, kicking up to nowhere. As a beginner, you would like to maximize the time you spend upside down. This will build your body awareness so you won't feel clueless when you're actually holding a free handstand. One way to maximize your upside down time is to do handstand hold against the wall. Personally, I prefer the chest to wall version. It teaches you how to hold a straight handstand. Make sure to keep your toes pointed, squeeze your glutes and push your hips forward. Push through your shoulders as if you are pressing yourself away from the floor. You could also try the back to wall version, of course, but I suggest you to bring one leg off the wall so you will not arch your lumbar spine. It'll be hard to unlearn it once you get used to holding a banana handstand. Handstand is a complex movement, and you must know what to do with each and every part of your body when you're upside down. That is why you should break down the handstand into different exercises that focus on different parts of your body. I call this the divide and conquer method. This method is in fact really popular among the yoga community, but not so much in the calisthenics community. The 2 exercises I recommend are frog stand and headstand. For most beginners, their wrists are their weak link. This is because we seldom use our wrists at that angle, and certainly not with that much weight. As a result, we tend to fall forward when our wrist flexors are not strong enough to withstand our weight. Training frog stand helps solve this problem. You'll find it easier to balance a frog stand because your center of gravity is lower and your base of support is wider. You should be raising your hips as high as possible. How often do we hear people say you should tighten your core in a handstand? This cue is pretty confusing and doesn't carry much weight. For a start, there are mainly 2 ways to flex our core. The first one is bracing, and it's commonly used in powerlifting. The other one is drawing in, which is to engage our transverse abdominis to pull our abs towards our spine. According to Gabel, this is how we should engage our core when we are doing a handstand.
Instead, we want to create what is known as a hollow body position. This is achieved by tucking your tailbone under and posteriorly tilting your hips. Then we will proceed to activate your core as well as the glutes.
It is best that we directly train our core upside down. We can do this by training headstand. When you're in a headstand, you should be drawing your abs in, squeezing your glutes, and pushing your hips forward. You can do these for 3 sets, and 30 seconds for each set. You should not be arching your lumbar spine when you're in a headstand, or you'll be missing the whole purpose of this exercise. You could also do these accessory core exercises to learn how to draw your abs in. Gabel suggests us to do hollow body hold, which is of course a good exercise to train your posterior pelvic tilt. Make sure your lower back stays in contact with the floor and you can't fit your hand in between. You could also do this exercise called dead bug. It specifically targets our transverse abdominis. Lay on your back and bend your knees 90 degrees. Stretch out one leg until it's parallel to the ground. Then repeat for reps. Remember, it's not about how fast you do this exercise. You should do it in a slow and controlled manner. If this is too easy for you, and it will be, try doing it on a foam roller, and it will boost your core stability, I promise. I get this inspiration from Now Wilson. Although this is an exercise he recommended for planche, I find it useful for handstand as well. The goal is to extend your legs while keeping your lower back neutral. You can hold it for 20 to 30 seconds per set, or you can do it for reps. Just make sure that your hips should be doing all the dynamic work instead of your lower back. Once you can hold the handstand for 10 seconds, you definitely want to show it off to your friends in real life. But how often do we embarrass ourselves when we couldn't do it on the spot? It is because kick-up is an explosive movement and it's hard to control how high we kick up every time. That's why you should learn different ways of entering in a handstand, and I suggest you to learn press to handstand, because it gives you more control over how fast you press up. You could try doing it against the wall first. Try to pike up, and when your hips can't go any higher, bend your elbows and your legs should automatically lift off the ground. And from that point onwards, repeat the headstand drill and straighten your arms and legs slowly. After learning press to handstand, you could go to the next progression, which is the frog stand to handstand. It's harder because you can't rely on momentum to swing yourself up, but it certainly cleans up your press to handstand. One tip for this is the higher your hips, the easier the press. If you feel your hips are not as high as they should be, do a lot of pike stretch to fix it. Never mind if you can't straighten your legs, the goal is to open your shoulders and thoracic spine. So there you have it. I hope these 3 methods could help you get a handstand quickly. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.